Former FBI agent Richard Frankel, who worked on the case during his time with the agency. Richard, thanks so much for coming on. What do you think investigators are looking for right now in the suspect's home?
So they're looking for any connection that they can get to any of the women, to weapons, to anything that will show that he actually is the doer. I understand that they found some firearms inside, but they're going to be looking for literally anything. Ropes. They're going to be looking at the computers. They're going to be looking at every single item in that house to see what can connect him to any of these four women or to Gilgo Beach itself.
You worked on this case for years, so what was your reaction when you heard a suspect was taken into custody? And any thoughts on who the suspect actually is?
So first, joy as far as law enforcement actually getting their guy. You can run, but you can't hide. It took 15 years, over that time. But with the changes in Suffolk County, working with the FBI, all the other task force members, it's great that the task force was actually able to get this guy. As far as this guy, I never heard of him. I didn't know of him. This was all done well after I had already left the bureau and worked on this case. And the fact that these investigators found him is fabulous. You have the state trooper who actually identified him first. Then he took that information, gave it to the rest of the task force. And again, you take all that task force, all the authorities, all the expertises, you put them all together, and you get a successful investigation. And
are you hearing anything behind the scenes? Was this someone on their radar? Were they surprised when this was the person that, that they tracked down from a pizza crust?
So I think in 2022, they were surprised, that there was no one there at that time.
Yeah.
At least his name didn't come up. But now, over the last, 6 months, 8 months, the task force really focused down on him. And so you go from surprise to actually, let's go now prove that this is actually the person who did it.
And we heard Aaron talk about burner phones and the pizza crust. What do you make of the technology used in this case so far?
Well, by the defendant, or the subject, the fact that he knew about burner phones and he was doing all that actually showed more of a sophistication than what you'd expect from, just a normal guy on the street,
Right.
But as far as the technology of the FBI and of the DA's office, the state troopers, that definitely has helped solve this case. 15 years ago, we did not have all that technology, all those resources that we have now. So they were able to use the new resources, all the information that they can get from the telephone carriers. The DNA has changed, the way that we collect and actually look at DNA. In fact, I think it's even in the bail package. They talk about how DNA has gotten better over time, and they were able to use that in this investigation.
Given how long this community has waited for answers, how many people worked on this case, how significant is this arrest, and how careful do investigators need to be now to build this case and make sure this is actually their guy?
So, I mean, the families, at least the three families for sure, and then the fourth family, because I think they probably will connect him to that fourth individual over time. I'm sure they're ecstatic in the sense that they've caught the killer. But the case is not over. I mean, right. You still have at least six other people that they're going to keep looking at, and that will continue on. This case is going to go on for quite a while. We're not at the beginning, but we're definitely not at the end. I think we're right in the meat of it. We're right in the middle of this case, and this task force, I think, still has quite a bit of work to do.
All right, Richard Frankel, great to have your analysis as we do enter that meaty part of this and try to unpack it all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.